Recent developments suggest Caitlin Clark might be making her comeback to the court much sooner than anticipated. The Indiana Fever organization has made significant roster adjustments that could indicate major changes ahead. The most notable move involves the organization parting ways with Kyra Lambert. This roster cut has sparked speculation about what it could mean for the team's future plans. When teams release players, it typically opens up space for new additions or the return of existing stars. Head over to the Indiana Fever X account, because just like I stated, this is news that has just come out. They really haven't released it yet, so it really hasn't hit their social media part. It's on the wnba underdog X account. There's the one that's kind of just broke this story, but as you guys can see here, she is gone. She is no longer on the Indiana Fever roster, man. This is big time. Lambert's departure from the roster came after minimal playing time across just 2 games, where she managed only about 1 minute of court action. This limited opportunity suggested her fit with the team wasn't working out as hoped. The news first surfaced through WNBA underdog sources before making its way to official channels. The timing of this roster move raises questions about whether it's connected to Clark's potential return or if the team has other plans in motion. Some observers wonder if the Fever might be looking at international talent or other available players. Man, this is big time news, because just like I stated, this is letting me know that we're getting somewhere with Caitlin Clark possibly coming back to the basketball court. Somebody said the fact that across 2 games she got literally 1 minute told me she wasn't going to work out. That could be a situation to on to the next. I don't think this actually correlates to CC return as much. I don't know. I don't think Kennedy Carter comes back. I believe she just signed a big deal with somebody else. If they not even... However, the current free agent market appears relatively thin, with few standout options remaining unsigned. This scarcity of available talent adds weight to speculation about Clark's possible comeback. The team's recent performance in league standings also supports the return theory. After dropping to 7th place over the weekend, Indiana has climbed back to 6th position in the rankings. This upward movement could be seen as positive momentum that might encourage Clark's return. The big deal with somebody else. If they not even going to give her a try, when even sign her, why even sign her? Can the Fever please invest in international scouts? They definitely need to invest in international scouts, because I know your boy John Liquidator ain't the best advocate when it comes to overseas players, but something I would say, they play hard, bro. Those overseas players play like they got something to prove. I get that. But for as me, I feel like we got enough talent here at home in our home country. Looking at the upcoming schedule presents both opportunities and challenges. The Fever face Minnesota twice in quick succession on the 22nd and 24th. Minnesota currently leads the league with an impressive 28-5 record, making them the top team to beat this season. These matchups against the league leaders will be particularly demanding. Winning even one of these games would be considered a strong performance, while taking both would be exceptional. I get that, but for as me, I feel like we got enough talent here at home in our home country to get players. Somebody said every day I question if Amber Cox and Stephanie White are even on the same page. I don't know. Odyssey Sims, you are Indiana Fever? Possibly. Let me see here. Is Chloe or somebody said something about this? Because it's not on their X account. Wow. Chloe haven't said anything about this. Neither have, The difficulty of these contests raises questions about whether it would be wise for Clark to return during such a challenging stretch. The team's remaining schedule includes several tough opponents beyond Minnesota. They'll face Seattle Storm, Los Angeles Sparks, Las Vegas Aces, Phoenix Mercury, and Chicago Sky, along with additional games against Washington and another meeting with Minnesota. This lineup of opponents represents some of the most competitive teams in the league. Each of these upcoming games presents unique challenges. Seattle and Las Vegas are known for their strong play, while games against teams like the Sparks and Mercury can be particularly intense battles. The Mercury and Sky games, followed by another Washington matchup and final meeting with Minnesota, round out what appears to be a demanding finish to the schedule. The combination of Lambert's release, the team's improved standings, and the roster flexibility this creates all point toward potential significant changes coming for Indiana. Whether this translates to Clark's immediate return remains to be seen, but the pieces appear to be moving in that direction. The organization's decisions suggest they're positioning themselves for something bigger than just a routine roster adjustment. With limited options available in free agency and the timing of these moves, all signs seem to indicate that Clark's comeback could happen much sooner than many expected. The basketball world will be watching closely to see how these developments unfold, particularly with such a challenging slate of games approaching. If Clark does return, the timing and opponent selection for her comeback game will be crucial factors in how successfully she can reintegrate with the team's current momentum. The recent incident involving Sophie Cunningham has drawn significant reactions from her family members. Both her mother Paula and sister Lindsay have voiced their opinions regarding the play that resulted in Cunningham's injury, caused by Bria Hartley's actions during the game. Paula Cunningham's social media account, which identifies her as Sophie's mother, posted criticism of Hartley before the message was subsequently removed. The deleted post labeled Hartley as a troublesome player who exhibits poor control and creates problems wherever she competes. Everybody's that's insane. If we could get to look, without Caitlin Clark, the league, it's kind of done. The goal, we're still trying to get the 60k by the end of the year. By the end of the season. That's the goal, 60k by the end of the season. But, yeah, so, anyway, we gotta talk about this. So obviously, prayers of Sophie Cunningham, Sophie's sister, Lindsay, and mom, Paula. I know, as far as I'm aware, I need to check this out, because people are saying they're not 100% sure about this account. While the authenticity of this particular account faced some questioning online, the fact that the post was deleted suggests it was legitimate. Hartley's playing style has consistently raised concerns throughout her career, rather than showing clear malicious intent like some other players who deliberately target opponents. Hartley appears to operate with dangerous recklessness. This contrasts with players such as Alyssa Thomas, where aggressive contact seems more calculated and purposeful. With Hartley, the behavior appears more chaotic and uncontrolled rather than strategically violent. Lindsay Cunningham, Sophie's sister, directed her frustration toward league officiating rather than individual players. Her statement criticized the organization for punishing players who speak out about poor refereeing instead of addressing the root problem by employing officials capable of maintaining consistent standards and protecting athletes. She described the situation as disgraceful while expressing support for her sister. Zavni real, but obviously, Bria Hartley's described the play. Having trouble wherever she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control. I will agree with plays completely out of control. I think Bria Hartley's the dirtiest, but she's reckless. I think when it comes to Bria Hartley, I don't know if the intent is there, but she's completely reckless. There are some players you can tell the intent is there. When they have to go out of their way to I think when it comes to Alyssa Thomas, you can tell when she hits someone high, but the intent is there. The debate around referee responsibility for preventing such injuries remains complex. While officials might not have been able to directly stop this particular incident, the broader pattern of allowing dangerous play creates conditions where injuries become more likely. Hartley's history includes multiple ejections and near ejections, often involving plays that target opponents' legs or result in players falling on others' knees. Questions arise about Hartley's status as a veteran WNBA presence. When she hits someone high, but the intent is there. You can tell if she wants to hurt some, or maybe not hurt somebody, she wants to rough them up. Bria Hartley, I don't know. She might just be completely out of control, so that's something completely reckless is fine. And then Sophie Cunningham's sister. Maybe you should focus less on fining players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that I have to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you, so Fowler. Fair. I don't know if the referees... Her career has been marked by extended absences due to injuries, with no seasons featuring more than 20 games played in the past 6 years. She was absent from the league entirely from 2022 until recently returning. This injury-plagued history makes claims about her being a protected legacy player seem questionable. The incident occurred during the opening moments when referees failed to properly manage a contested situation. I don't know if the referees could have prevented the Sophie Cunningham injury. I'm going to be honest with that. I don't know if the referees could have done it. I don't know if it was intentional from Bria Hartley. I think if it was anyone other than Bria Hartley or Marina Mabrey on the Sun team, everyone would have just said, no, it's not intentional, it was completely accidental. Just like with the Kyle Clark getting hit by JC Sheldon's captain and Sano. It's hard when there is a history there of a player consistently, like, instead of immediately calling a jump ball when Sophie Cunningham was on the ground with Layla Khan positioned over her with possession of the ball, officials delayed their whistle for several seconds. This hesitation allowed the situation to escalate, with Khan falling onto Cunningham and Cunningham responding by kicking her off, ultimately leading to the technical foul that some argue Cunningham deserved for her actions. Many believe that prompt officiating could have prevented the entire sequence. Earlier in the season when these teams met, similar officiating problems occurred when JC Sheldon made a dangerous dive at Sydney Colson's legs while she attempted to collect the loose ball, with no foul called despite the slide tackle nature of the contact. The broader issue extends beyond individual incidents to systemic problems with WNBA officiating. Games regularly feature phantom fouls called on minor contact or missed shots, while obvious fouls like Dana Bonner's elbow strike to Cunningham's face go uncalled even when occurring directly in front of referees. Officials have been observed pointing out objects thrown onto the court but allowing play to continue rather than addressing safety concerns. This inconsistent enforcement creates an environment where players suffer injuries at an alarming rate, with roster-ending injuries occurring approximately every third game. The combination of allowing reckless play while calling unnecessary fouls on routine basketball actions has created a dangerous standard that affects player safety throughout the league. The pattern of poor officiating extends to basic game management, where referees fail to control situations before they escalate into larger problems, whether dealing with loose ball situations, physical altercations, or dangerous plays. Officials consistently demonstrate inadequate timing in their interventions, often allowing situations to deteriorate rather than addressing them promptly. While family members' emotional responses to seeing their loved ones injured are understandable, the focus on individual players like Hartley may be misplaced compared to addressing the systematic officiating problems that enable such incidents. It is what it is. It is what it is. But it's it's funny how a legacy WNBA, and I'm like, today's sideline was a perfect example. League not ready for all new. I don't know what happened here, but I'm like, Bria Hartley is one of the last players I would say, is like being protected by the old WNBA. The reality is that Bria Hartley is it's just the thing where the league allows play. The league's inability to maintain consistent standards and protect player safety represents a more fundamental issue than any single player's reckless behavior. Paula Cunningham's decision to delete her original post reflects the complicated nature of these situations, where immediate emotional reactions may not represent the most productive approach to solving underlying problems. However, the frustration expressed by both family members highlights legitimate concerns about player safety and league management that extend far beyond this single incident. The ongoing debate about officiating quality and player protection will likely continue as long as the current standards persist, with families of injured players serving as vocal advocates for reform, while the league struggles to address fundamental problems with game management and safety protocols.